We back, we live, we lit for another episode of A1 Live Podcast. I got an MC, I got a dope MC, a dope artist, all around individual. You know what I'm saying? And on the fashion tip, I love everything you doing. I got Woody Beast. What's the deal?
What it voodoo?
Yo, you just got back from Cali?
No, so I was in Florida and then I did Atlanta. Now I'm back in Washington right now. And then I got Cali and Houston coming up, and then I'm back in Florida. I'm actually back in Florida later this month or March. I mean, I'll be March just recording.
So what you had going on? What you got a little tour going on, or business or pleasure? What's going on out there, or what's going on that made you hop around so much?
Absolutely. So the cool thing is my business partner, who we own our own record label, so that's Esoteric Records, and then I'm the artist Woody Beast. So esoteric meaning just on that higher knowledge, that more mystical, metaphysical style. And but so me and him, we linked up, and he used to live out here in Washington with me, but he's from Florida, so he knew the market out there. So when we realized that we outgrew the resources that were around us, it was like, yo, we gotta go. So he was out there into Florida. So I've been there like for the last couple of years. I've been there months at a time, back and forth, and then we were in Atlanta doing some business. We had Off the Porch, if you ever heard of their interviews, where you go see the porch and, you know what I'm saying, with the Dirty Glove Bastard. Yeah, it was lit.
Yeah. The label. When did y'all start the label? Give me some background information about the label, how that came about, and the vision behind the label.
Okay, so the crazy thing is I've been doing music since I was 11 years old. So I was just inspired by my uncle, naturally never stopped. So for my whole life, dang near, for 2/3 of my life, I've been rapping, spitting bars. And then it was when I was like 17, 18, I fell in this rabbit hole where I was just kind of questioning things in my life. Really, it started like battle rap. I was like watching URL battles and stuff. And
Shout out to you. Yeah, I'll be all up on it.
So I was inspired because at first I was young, I was naive. So when they say freestyle battles, I was thinking these dudes are not going off the top. So I'm like, literally, the funny thing about it, the irony of the situation is, I was tripped out about thinking it's freestyle. So I'm like, how do they do that? They got to use more of their brain. So I'm looking up how to use more of your brain. Fell in this rabbit hole. Long story short, that was just the inevitable path that kind of drifted me into a curve that was a unique niche that nobody was on, where I found myself while I've always been doing music. So I never put anything out to the world until 2016 is when we started dropping our stuff for the label. So I was just doing it every day of my life with wicked bars, stuff that I wrote 10 years ago that would blow people's mind today.
Yeah.
And then it just came to the point where me and my business partner linked up in life, and we had some synchronicity going on, and I spit for him one time. And he heard me, you know what I'm saying? He was just like the first person who actually heard me on the level that I was spitting, where I was like, I felt received, you know what I'm saying? My vision that I put into my work was received. And from that day on, he was like, bro, let's put our money up. Let's start this label. And it just revealed itself. It just ended up being Esoteric Records just because that's what I feel like Source was expressing itself through me to play this specific part, you know, which is ironic because my name is Woody. And Toy Story shirt right now too.
You feel me? That boy classic too. You know what I'm saying?
I always say I'm just a toy in the story, you know, I'm just playing my part. That's it.
Yeah. And you keeping with the image, you know what I'm saying? And that and a lot of people don't realize that, and I want to get into that too, as far as, you know, the mindset behind your image, because a lot of people don't know that. It's super dope to have that pen game, but image play a little part in it too. You know what I'm saying? Talk about your image and talk about how much thought goes into your image and how much thought goes into the persona of Woody.
Yes, absolutely. So you can see right here on my shoulder, I got a tattoo if they're just listening in, but it's an alien, and I'm an alien, man. I've always been super different. Like, I've grew up with that I don't give a fuck swag. I just grew up knowing I had confidence in myself enough that I was never following the trends. I just knew what I was, and I just followed my own little swag and just kept to that boldly being myself with no remorse, you know. So that kind of stuck with me. So I mean, I was literally in 8th grade ironing on letters on the shirts and splattering them up with paints, and I'm still to this day doing the same stuff but way more advanced, you know, which is funny because that's not even my main thing. It's just one of the things I do with custom clothes. I like to have things that nobody has. I like to express myself creatively, and I'm allergic to jobs, so it's like, yo, I got to be producing. That's how I feel.
Absolutely.
That's how I continue to brand myself as an image. But I think the image is super important. And as you can see, this I got one dread out of all my hair. Mine's in a bun right now. That's
Okay.
like I got like a man bun, but then I got the one dread. So I always say I'm like the Jedi of the rap game, the wizard of the rap game. You know what I'm saying? Like these different, the William Blake of the rap game. There's like these little, almost like Wheezy F Baby had all these little things. I got my own little things where they've stuck with me on how I don't call my songs spells. You know what I mean? I call my songs spells, not songs. So I'm always portraying that image of mystical. I got a Louis Vuitton wand holster I made for the wand that I got. And it's just like portraying, like you're really bringing that character to life, because for the entertainment of things, if you're not committed to the idea that you're giving life to, what life is to have, you know? So I had to, when I decided to really pursue what I knew was Woody Beast into the world, I had to show him what it was. And that came with the responsibility to boldly brand myself to an idea where they can receive that message.
Yeah.
And this right here is a dread right here behind my head ear, like a Jedi, and I call it the Jedi. But it's because I'm also the Jedi of the rap.
You did that boy yourself?
My girl did.
Okay, all right, yeah. Shout out to the missus. You know what I'm saying? We all, you know, us as men, it ain't nothing wrong to have that strong backbone behind us that's gonna hook us up.
Come on.
And before, huh? Said it again.
Oh, I was just saying, me and her, we created this thing. You know how PIC, partner in crime?
Yeah.
We call it partner in climb. You know what I'm saying? If you that help us elevate.
Shout out to that, man. Shout out to her. Shout out to y'all and all y'all endeavors. And I see you inked up, bro. Like when did that start for you? Like you always been tatted. That boy, you cold over there, cuz I want to get some more, man. But I'm a little bit nervous.
Oh, honestly, so there's a couple things I think about the tattoo world. Like I've been in the tattoo world since I can get tattoos. I got my first one when I was 17. And let me remind you, I'm 30 right now. Word. So I was born in 1990, so I'm like the cusp. I grew up with the old heads, so I know, you know what I'm saying? I grew up with all the old music from Brother Lynch, whether it be anybody you could think of, you know, Tupac, all these generations. I grew up with that, influenced by my uncle. So I stayed in touch with the substance, the bars. But I'm also new age. I'm older than the new cats and younger than the old heads. You know what I'm saying? I'm that gap right between that blends the worlds. So for me, like, the tattoos, I had face tattoos before it was even a fad. I call myself face tats. I was 18, so you got to think about this. 18, I'm now 30, so that's 12 years ago.
Yep.
My first face tat, and I was young. You know what I'm saying, in Vancouver, Washington, nobody does that. You know what I'm saying? So it was, for me, it was just that expression that I had within myself, that I seen my created character a certain way, and I wanted it like that, and nobody was going to tell me any otherwise. My mom was pissed when I got my first.
Hey man, but you know, you got an idea and you know where you want to go in life, and that's the most beautiful thing about it. It's not like you were doing it and just roaming around out here. You know what I mean? You knew you already had that image and you know where you wanted to go. And I heard you mention Vancouver, Washington. Is that where you from? So originally?
Well, originally more towards Seattle, in like Kent, Washington, Federal Way area, but Washington my entire life mostly, until I started tapping into Florida, and now that's where I've been back and forth, but completely relocating here this year. Because
let's talk about the beginning a little bit. Let's talk about growing up and you know, around the Seattle parts, around the Vancouver parts of Washington. Talk about your you know your background there and your upbringing. Talk about, you know, like a person that might not have been might not be on that side of town, you know what I'm saying, or might
Yeah,
have a misconception of that or that side of town. Like, do they even listen to hip hop? Give me your background a little
yeah,
bit and growing up around there.
absolutely. So growing up, when I was in like Kent, Federal Way, that area, like my whole world at that time was, I mean, it's super cultured. You know what I'm saying? People from Seattle. I grew up in Federal Way, so like, I was hanging with the people who was swagged out. I
Yeah.
hooped. I was heavy into hooping, so like I took that serious. But I was never a schoolhead, so I never turned in homework. I didn't give a fuck about no school. I was
You,
a
you you telling me if Woody wasn't on them bars, he'd be on that court crossing
uh,
some guys over.
hey, I'm telling you, it was a
Okay.
time. I mean, but this is the cool thing about like what I remember about my growing up. When
Yeah.
I hoop, I was going to the NBA. There was no questions. Nobody could tell me different. My conviction of success was always there. So when I was rollerblading heavy, and I still do it as a hobby, but rollerblading for me was like, it wasn't like, oh, I want to be good. No, mine was like X Games. It's
Yeah.
the same with music. Like for me, my vision is so big with music because it's, first off, it's instilled in me. I've done it for too long. I don't have to motivate myself to do this. I could do it on call every day, all day, and I never sacrificed my substance. But growing up out there was amazing because I didn't have the influence of the music industry, because to me,
Okay.
people were doing it like that. Like when you look
Okay.
at the meccas like LA or New York,
Yeah.
anywhere you can think of that's known for music, like it's different. They're bred into the culture of the society.
Hmm.
It's in the genes of the states, in the so for me it wasn't like that. I just had a lot of talent around me, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up like, yeah, doing a bunch of things. I was always talented, so I tapped into all different genres of music. When I grew up, it was like, whether it be Joel Santana and Dipset, I
Yeah,
recognize them. I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
rap like their patterns. I'm trying to rap like Twista. And it's like, growing up, and then it's like, I watched all the stuff, Brother Lynch, T Nutty,
yeah.
really underground, vicious bars. I like King Los. I like people that, but I like all music. So for me, I didn't discriminate. I just saw inspiration of what I did,
Yeah,
and I and
yeah.
I picked it. But I started when I was 11. So
Okay.
over time, and then finding myself when it hits like 17, 18, more diving into the self to get to know the consciousness of what we are and what our relationship with source. That's what helped me find different genre. But I was effortlessly building this thing that I didn't know I was doing
Yeah.
my entire life,
Yeah.
preparing myself for what I was meant to do, obviously.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so
You,
even like,
but that time prepared you for who you are at 30 years old.
absolutely, because now think about it. I've outgrown Washington. Yes, there's much love to it, but it doesn't owe me anything, and I don't owe it anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
have to sit here and think that I have to put on for the city by being here. That's going to keep me stuck, because if I'm being honest with myself, the city, you can't even get enough people to come to. I remember they had the daylight battle, like if we're speaking URL terms, they had daylight coming out here. Huge things. My boy Stewie Newton, I grew up with him in Federal Way. He's big in the URL world now. And
Okay.
so they came to do a battle, and there's like nobody there. They're never coming back. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, if when we have people that are coming out here and we only support the huge, and we ain't supporting the locals that are raw, or if we ain't supporting the
Who are ultimately just
courage.
as dope, if not better, than the ones that y'all putting on this big platform. Yeah.
On, yeah, but that's how it goes though. If we're looking at the masses, like, it's driven by what's popular, and that comes later, because what was popular wasn't popular when it started.
Yep.
Kanye, you could probably get a beat 250 when he started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't even get a hold of him. So
Yeah.
good luck. So that's the same thing where I see out here. Like when I went to Florida, the receptivity of people that heard me spit and just seen my swag and just like genuinely fucked with me because I was authentic
Hmm.
and I stuck to my truth, and you know what I'm saying, I'm very personable and I love everybody. So it's easy to be heard from people that don't hate like that. They're not looking for. When you're in like Washington, Portland, it feels as if nobody's put on for the city really. So everybody wants to put on for the city, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Everybody wants to
then
be that one to carry the flag instead of coming to one cohesively and carrying the flag together. It's easy to carry that heavy flag when you got somebody carrying it with you and not as they say, wearing a heavy crown yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. And that's why, and we just got to be honest with ourselves. Like when I look at it, I didn't start pursuing my music career until 2016. So
Mm-hmm.
when it comes down to it, you know, in the sense people say 30, that could be seemed old, but to me that's inevitable. I mean, irrelevant to the inevitability that what's coming. But if I'm looking at it, it's like time doesn't wait for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Look how quick 5 years goes by in our life, and we look back and it's like boom, blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yo, if I would
What
have
have we done in this life? Yeah. Yeah.
if invest that 5 years into a consistent uh, gamble in some people's eyes, but you know, taking a risk on branding something that you can internally find inspiration with um, without wavering. You know, it's like if you can see yourself doing something consistently for 5 years, do that, because look how quick 5 years goes by, and then we could have been 5 years deep, and who knows what can happen in 5 years.
Yeah. Look where you could have been. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
trying to capitalize. So now it's like every moment, you know what I'm saying, is doing what I know is necessary with not without the worry of what if or how is it going to work. With unwavering faith, it doesn't matter how it's going to work. You just know it will, and you just keep doing you. You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you and speaking of the West Coast and speaking about Washington and growing up over there, like how much has your surroundings influenced the artist you are? If at all, did your surroundings influence like not just the music that you were listening to, but like the surroundings, like growing up and whether it was hard, whether it was easy, whether it was cotton candy and bubble gum, or it was pop rocks or whatever. How much has that surrounding influenced your sound, if at
Mhm.
all?
Man, so that's crazy. So I never really thought about that, but thinking about it to on that general sense, it's amazing to think that I don't think that my style or anything reflects any of it, but it doesn't mean that it's not part of my story. And the crazy thing about music is that what I've learned is I was getting so esoteric, and I was getting so like I even dropped an album when I first released in 2016. I dropped this project called Genesis. It was 7 songs, like the 7 days of creation, and they all had specifics. It was deep, not one cuss word in the entire album. It was legendary. But I was slept on because I just started pursuing my music, you know? So I took it down because later on I learned over time that the beats were not full ownership the way I needed them to. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't have the top notch engineering the way I needed it to for that
Mm-hmm.
project. You know, I didn't learn to utilize my delivery as much on the project. So now it's like it's cool. I've learned so much in the time that it's taken to get to where I'm at now.
Yeah,
Uh, which my preparation was perfect because I needed to learn all those things for now.
absolutely,
I'm ready. So now it's a different
absolutely.
all game stepping into the world of the attention and having the eyeballs on you and having the listens and stuff. Because this is the thing, I genuinely, more than
Mm-hmm.
anything, I love music. But this is the thing, if I talk about my childhood, yes, my parents, you know, like my dad was on drugs most of my life. I hung out with dudes who was, you know what I'm saying? My boy went to prison when we was in 8th grade for shooting up at the house. And like, you know, we were around all those shits. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
hanging with people that was really crazy, but I was just always had this. I was the one that I was cool with all of them. This guy's
Yeah,
fighting this,
yeah, yeah.
both of
Yeah,
them.
you were like a chameleon. You was able to go in and out of whatever the atmosphere was or whatever the circle was. You was able to blend in with
Mhm.
all forms of life, so to speak.
Absolutely, 100%. And so, like, I feel like though I don't think it influenced my style because I mean I could say you know it is what it. I could say it has a part because there's a part, but that's just my.
Yeah,
When it comes
yeah,
down to no matter where I am, if you wake up to truth that's beyond this world, it's eternal. There's things that are happening behind the scenes of life that are bigger than us. And so when we let go of identifying so much with the physical, we drift into something that we didn't know we were, and that
yeah,
was part of us that was like
yeah,
so for me, like it doesn't have anything, but I try now because I understand how important it is to get relatability. And I once heard if you speak like a scientist,
hmm,
scientists will understand you. If you speak like a truck driver, truck drivers and scientists will understand you. So learning how to bring my physical experience into a relatability without sacrificing that I'm
Yeah.
about to, you know.
That's hella dope, bro. Because and like I say, that's one of the things that drew me to you is when I seen your little freestyle post, and I seen and I listened to your music. You put a lot of thought into what you putting on that record, and you put a lot of thought into what you allowing people to listen to, and what you're allowing people to hear. Talk to me about that, and talk to me about was that just out the gate, like who I am. I have to be saying something. It has to be thought provoking. Did that take some time? Like, you know what I mean? Why did you choose that lane outside of the typical lane where you could be talk about cars and money and jewelry? Why did you choose right the blue pill, so to speak,
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
the red pill?
Hey, so honestly, the cool thing is I did all that too. You know what I'm saying? I was young, I was dumb. I was talking about things I wasn't doing when I was little kid, but I started when I was 11. I've been rapping for
Yo, I
9
got the
years.
get and not
Come on, hey, but I still have.
and you and that might have been your truth, but that a lot of people don't understand it. You can go so far. The imagine that you can do, especially with music. You can do so many things that you don't have to put yourself in a box. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, no, no. I like the feedback, and you're right, and that's true. Because, but some people, I feel like for certain people, they try to uphold an image, maybe, and for certain people, if you uphold an image, then good luck trying to consistently hold it. Because if it's not genuinely you, it will crumble. The
Yep.
foundation in which I'm doing, I gave up the need to do anything other than me. So that's why I'm so comfortable with it and I'm so confident with it, because first off, nobody's doing what I'm doing. The
Okay.
fact that perceived to be white, even though I'm very cultured, and there's marketing there. You know what I'm saying? The face tats, the quality ink. First, and you look at rappers nowadays. There's millionaires that don't even got quality ink, and I'm like, yo, you're spending, $100,000 on a watch, and you letting your boy who doesn't know how to tap get you going. Like go get so cool. There's a lot of things that I feel like inevitably set myself apart for the marketing aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the bars, it was because I was such a connoisseur, and I did it for so long, almost 20 years now. Think about that. I've been rapping for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's like, I didn't ask for this. It was given to me, it was a gift. And I don't know how to turn it off if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
like, I'm
Yeah.
good. I might
It's in your veins. You know what I'm saying? It's in your veins. You feel me? And you mentioned the culture, right? Let's talk about that for a second, because you got a lot of narrow-minded people, right? They will see your image, they will see you and look at you and say, well, how can he be about the culture? The culture is this, or like a people or a person that didn't even start the culture, and yes, you're a part of it, or say, all of a sudden now they got to say or rule it. Well, how can he be about the culture and not even knowing your background? You follow what I'm saying? What would you
Yeah,
say to those narrow, closed-minded people?
yeah.
That,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So, I mean, when you think about it, so I once heard a quote, there's no boring subjects, just boring people. So when you think about it, trumpet, it sounds boring to some people, but the trumpet has infinite depth. Try to play it, you know what I'm saying? And then try to be good at it on top of that. And then try to be able to be creative and not follow anybody's path with it. So there's levels to it. And in trumpet, there's culture, you know what I'm saying? I think culture is really going to be related to the aspect in which it's implied. And for me,
Okay.
I imply it in so many ways. When it comes to the music of in the music world, what I believe well seasoned when it comes to just my own open mindedness to and
Yeah.
depth that I've gone with music in my
Yeah.
connoisseur listening aspect and at the same time writing. So, and then fashion. I love fashion. Like I've been into it my entire life. So when it comes to like,
Hmm.
I'm a
Hmm.
trendsetter. I
Hmm.
think culture in that, even though I might not know everything about everything, that I don't need to know the facts about all the things that make me on paper a certified, person in the culture. No,
Yeah,
I know
because
with it.
we've had this throughout the total lifespan of hip hop, right? We've had guys that continue to break barriers. We like the MGKs, the M's, the
Mhm.
even going back to the like the MC searches that show us that culture is culture. Like you just said, culture is culture. Like if you bleed the culture, you can't tell me that I'm not a part of something just because you think it's only this region should be a part of this culture, or only this nationality should be a part of
Yeah.
this culture. Culture is kind of like a family, a relationship. So if we got this bond, if me and this music got this bond, then that's what I am. Who are you to tell me if I did country music? Who are you to tell me I can't do country music? If I did,
Mhm.
if I was out here river dancing, who are you to tell me I
Huh.
can't river dance? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think it takes a special person to commit without the idea of like you have to give up when you're a trendsetter. And when I'm saying something different than when you hear Tupac come out, or when you hear
Yeah,
some Nipsey Hussle, people that are boldly something different. There's something special about them. Like when you see truth
yeah,
through somebody's existence, and you see God through somebody's existence, because
yeah,
they're giving they're portraying their whole life to play that out. There's something to be said about that. And when you don't usually get recognition, Jesus Christ was not popular. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? You're talking about at a time when, if we're looking at, like, if we're taking it literal, you look at this time, they didn't like that magic witchcraft stuff. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That stuff was highly looked down on when it comes to like the law of Caesar and the
It
people who thought
was.
power. So he was out here getting, betrayed by Judas. He has his own homeboys doing him dirty.
Yeah,
Just the idea of that anybody who's willing to be a trendsetter on a high level is
mhm,
going to face the risk of not being seen, so that the people that come after you and copy that, or follow that path, will most likely get recognition after. You'll get recognition later, you know
yeah.
but you gave your existence to be the example, and that's what I feel.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm super different because I just have a unique niche. I have a unique understanding with my truth of life, and I know how to portray it into bars, and I have a high, high, high standard on my technicalities on the way I portray my lyrics too. So
Yeah,
there's so, and because I can do club bangers, I can have a song in the strip club. I can still be in the strip club. You know what I'm saying? I can still
yeah.
do that and not have to play this holy role, but still not sacrifice what I am. And that's because I stay true to myself. I stay true to my morals. I stay true to the values.
And let's tap on that a little bit because you mentioned God and you mentioned staying true to yourself. How much does spirituality play a role in the music you deliver, if at all, and where does that come from? Was it your background, your upbringing? Was that just something that was already in your heart? Like how talk about that and expound on that a little bit.
Yeah. So like I said, so when I was rapping about worldly stuff. I was, had anger problems when I was growing up. I wasn't perfect. I wasn't into this stuff, even though naturally I grew around people that would perceive. I wouldn't even say Christian. My parents were never on some. My dad was in drugs, and I watched him with do crazy shit my whole life. In and out of jail every, go to see him on the holidays. He's gone. Like it wasn't just holy sunshine and rainbows in my
Yeah,
life. I just knew that I believed within my being. I prayed to God in a sense when I was younger. I don't even hold the idea of God anymore because it's not necessarily limited to that understanding of, what I'm saying? I just think that it's a very universal term. So it's easy to portray the idea I'm trying to get when I'm talking
okay,
about source or the causation of all that is, or when we say the universe, I spell universe YOUNIV,
yeah,
universe. So
yeah.
I believe that even if we are looking biblical, I like to use it as reference because a lot of people that believe in it, I'll use their language to
Mhm.
give them the nuggets that I'm trying to
To
give them.
speak to him, yeah, to speak to him, and like you said, and like you was saying before, to speak to him in a language that they might understand a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then not also, and then it's hard because I want to speak to the world, so I'm trying not to just label it to a Christianity aspect either. So I'm really diverse in the way I express it, and I'm very cautious, and I walk a very thin line on how um, I do everything on purpose. Let's just say that there's not a word out of place when I drop my bars.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, let's talk about influence a little bit. You know what I mean? Because like I say, I listened to you and you talked before about watching battle rap and listen to all types of all types of, like whether it's the old school and bridging the gap with the new school and this, that, and the third. But who influenced you originally, Woody the Beast? Where you might have had old iPod set on or the old headset, and you was like, "Yo, this is dope." Like who was some of those guys that put the fire up under you?
Yeah, so the irony of it started with my uncle. My uncle used to rap with his friends, and he was the one who was like my big homie. He was my mom's brother, the
Mm-hmm.
youngest. He looked out for me. We were the ones out of the group that speak the same language. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
even when I was really young, he was giving me jerseys, telling me to tuck it in a certain way, giving me Puff Daddy CDs and Bone Thug CDs when I was younger, just putting me on all the shits. So he was really my big homie when it came to music. And I was inspired watching him and three buddies rap from the mic that was hanging from the ceiling. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting in the corner looking the door. Those are the things that got me started. It was no artist in general other than my uncle and what he
Yeah.
was. And so that got me interested. So I'm writing songs. I recorded my first song with him when I was 12, like 11. Yeah, I started when I was 11 writing. And when I was 12, I recorded a song with him and my cousin. And he ended up taking my verse off and put his friend on it. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't mad. I was hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So where I'm like, yo, you ain't going to take my next verse off. Watch this. You know what I'm
So
saying?
that just made you go harder. You know what I mean? Instead of
Absolutely.
giving up, like, all right, man. And that was let you know whether something is divine and something we're supposed to do, or something that's just a fly by night thing, and
Mm,
okay, it's a hustle, so to speak. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like when I was moving through, like I said, I've never thought about, oh, I'm just going to pursue it. I would literally just imagine, I'll be like hearing Lil Wayne's coming into town. And I'm in my imagination, like imagining being at the concert and running into him in the hallway and blowing his mind with some bars, you know,
What
knowing
you
that,
would, bro. Like I say, yeah, what you would, cause your bars is heavy. You make me want to get back in the pad and
come
come out of
on,
retirement. You feel me?
let's
So trust
go.
me.
I
so
love that.
so so talk about your creative process in it all. Like how does Woody get in that creative process where, okay, let's say you in album mode right now, right?
Mhm.
How do
Yeah.
you what are some of the elements that you use to get in that creative process? Whether it be, okay, I maybe I zone out to a Kanye record and I get there, or maybe I take a walk on the beach somewhere and I get there, or maybe I take a
Yeah.
trip. How
Yeah.
does Woody get in that creative process mode?
Oh man, so this is why one of the reasons why I claim being the Jedi of the rap game, because Jedi's don't own the Force; they just mastered how to use it. Uh, I am the inspiration. I am the process. No matter where I'm at, what time it is, put cameras on me, nothing. It doesn't matter where I am. I can pull from the source because I have this relationship with music. Because, like I said, I put over 10,000 hours in 20 years of rapping. Anybody who does anything for 20 years, you skateboard for 20 years, you're going to be the rawest, you know?
Yeah.
I just did it for way too long. And I got creative freedom where now I can touch if I'm thinking about something, it's like, oh, what do I want to give them? I can resonate with the feeling of, I did a song called High Standards. I was just thinking about, you know, how I hold my standards high. I just hold the frequency of high standards. This is just one thing. And call it an experiment. I was like, oh, I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to hold the frequency of what I feel like is my high standard. And then I'm going to write out of that, whatever shows up in my mental. And I wrote a
Yeah.
song and that played out perfectly. And things have manifested now in my life that were in that.
Talking about songs that you wrote, bro, you got a song out right now called, you got something out called Lyrical Black Art, right?
Yes.
And when I seen it, first of all, the cover alone, before we get into the song and the process of that, the cover alone stepped out to me. Are you making your own covers? Like how much do you have in the say of your cover art and the thought behind your cover art? Because it is something that, your cover art, you ain't just throwing up a picture. You ain't just throwing up a picture with words on it.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you put a lot of thought into even just the visual of
Mm-hmm.
your music.
Yeah, so I feel like that's where when we talk about source and letting it play out. I feel like the more I get out of my own way, the better it is. Like for me, it's communication with life. Whether it be me having an idea, whether it be me just needing a cover art and I'm reaching out to the people that I know do it, whether, my budget's bigger to work with some other things to go crazier, whatever I have in those moments is going to be the vehicle in which I pursue. But what comes back to me, I trust life. If I don't like something, I'll speak it. If I do, I trust it. There's things that show up that were better than what I expected. And so I feel like I'm very, I don't have no specific ways because I don't want to limit myself to all the ways.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I get it. You still want to have a definition about yourself. So, you know what I mean? So I follow exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about, because it sounds like you have a plan. You know what I'm saying? But from the start to beginning, where do you see yourself going with your art? Like, what's your end game? Like, so let's say 5 to 10 years from now, we talked about the 5 years and 10 years. What would I be doing? Where do you see yourself taking it? Do you want to own a label, maybe conglomerate, or do you see yourself rapping and then taking that and turning that into something else, artistically? Like, what's your end game of it all?
So, man, when I see the end game of it all, it's so much bigger than just music. Like I already see myself with, I want to be able to afford buying 1,000 acres and just planting nature and giving it back to the world.
There we go.
Like, I want to do things that are so far beyond me. And I want to own an apartment complex that's bringing me $750,000 a month, because I can't rely on just music forever to be popular in the eyes of the masses, But with my music, I'm going to be one of the greatest artists to ever touch the earth.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
It's going to be like Shakespeare remembered, Einstein remembered, Bruce Lee remembered, because like I said, I believe that because I'm willing to play that part. I'm willing to give my life for a greater cause that's bigger than me. So it's not about what I want anymore. It's about what's necessary. So for me, my vision,
what's necessary. That's hard. Yeah.
How many artists are out there on the mainstream platinum? I'm twisting certain things and making songs that they will like, so that they will like me, because I genuinely want to reach the people, to tell them that they are the creators of their reality, to tell them to manifest their destiny, to tell them not only just saying it in an interview like, oh, do whatever you want, and then talk about pills the whole time, or do this and that. Like, I'm trying to genuinely share from my own experience of my hard work and my relationship with life and how I've manifested certain things and continue to bring things to life, that you can do it too. And this is not from me. This is from everybody. Look,
absolutely.
Jesus Christ, Bruce Lee, Einstein, everybody said the same shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to influences, right? Because you talked about your influences and where your where your mind comes from as far as working, but who's some of those wish list collaborators? You got your influences, but like collaborations that you might, who is on your wish list of collaborators that you like, yo, I think we can do something powerful, whether it's artist or producer, you know what I mean? Or somebody that's just got that same mind behind everything that you're doing.
So right off the bat, Drake, when I think of artists, Drake is like the top of my list when it comes to knowing that we can speak a language that would bring some really high vibrational, simply complex bangers.
There we go.
Really cover some edge. But then it's like, for me, the people that inspire me is like, give me the right sounds. I want, give me a Metro Boomin and watch what I do with it.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you get me with the engineers who are engineering the Migos or something,
and let me show you how I change it up. You know what I mean? They showed you how they,
I'm ready to go. Give me a Lyrical Lemonade video, you know what I'm saying? And watch the visuals play with the songs, with the engineering, with the beat, and watch what I do with it. I'm going to make the most power moves that people have ever seen in the music of history, because I got so much material, bro. Unlimited amounts of material I've been holding on to.
You got a whole hard drive. You sitting on hits that you just ain't even released yet.
Bro, I have so many. So
tell me about it.
Come on. The song
get in your bag, Woody.
Yeah. So I mean, I literally, like, listen, I got songs like even the one I did. There's one I did Alter Perception, and then I dropped Raise the Stakes. Raise the Stakes I had sitting in the archives for years. I literally sent the reference beat that I wrote it to every single producer I knew, and I waited and I waited and I waited. And every time I met somebody who said they did beats, I waited for somebody to give me a sound that I needed that matched the same sound. And I was just like, yo, I need this feeling, and nobody can catch the feeling. And as soon as I got the feeling, then I dropped it on them, you know?
And raise the stakes, and that cover art is so dope. Like what was the mindset behind that cover art? Because it's kind of like I don't know, it look kind of like a witch or something, and
Yeah.
she got the hammer or something to describe that cover art. Because like I say, your cover art when a person see it, sometimes the cover art alone will just make me say, yo, what's this? You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So that's
Absolutely.
smart. Talk about that a little bit.
So we paid a dude who does comic books for that one. So it's like that comic book style. And the razor. So in the chorus, I said, I wish you would like a campfire, two on point like a vampire. Guess it's time to raise the
Mm.
stakes. And I was just talking about raising the stakes in the sense of an analogy of like setting the bar higher, you know, just raising the vibration on them. But the raising the stake, that image of two on point, I'm two on point like a vampire. I guess it's time to raise the stakes. So now we got the person on the front raising the stakes, about to stab the vampire in the cover art. And the cover art, the vampire, he's like surprised, he's like scared, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
by the action of it, but it's really also just, I mean, even when I look at it as an analogy, even deeper, we can even
Yeah.
go deeper into the fact that, you know, piercing the vampire and is killing these aspects of self that are illusory. You know what I'm saying? There's things that
Yeah.
don't present the truth. And so like all of that starts to play itself out, because whether I'm aware of it or not, there's way more levels to it than I can even perceive. And I think I got a good grasp on the levels that I put into it, you know?
Yeah. uh and we're right now we're in this, you know, unfortunately we're in this COVID mindset where everything is closed in and people are scared to go outside. People are scared to find new ways to at least adapt to the new norm. You know what I mean? So with that being said, performing wise, let's say things do open up, or let's say you are able to, you know, touch bases. What are some of those, where are some of these places that you want to hit first, performance wise?
Um, Whoever got the bag, like I'm wherever I got to go to get what I need to get, you know?
Yo, that's the realest. Yo, yo, that's real. That's real. You know what I'm saying? Drop that bag. I'm there. Holla at me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. I even got, I mean, my passport's ready, you know? So, like, I'm ready to go overseas. I'm ready to do everything to make an impact too.
Have you been over there yet? Have you been over anywhere overseas yet?
No, I only went to, the only time I used my passport was I went in March. It was cool. Me and my girl, we went for her birthday. We went to Mexico and
Okay.
we did an ayahuasca trip on the full moon on her birthday. And it was our first time doing ayahuasca. So it was a very
So
spiritual,
wait a minute. So whose idea was that? Like,
man. So a girl that she knew holds this, like, she calls it the Medicine Collective, and it's like this, you know, her organization of these kind of things. So they had the shamans fly in. We had everybody who paid for a retreat to come and do this experience. So like you're sitting with people who are very
I was just finna say, explain that a little bit for me, bro. Cause me, I'm ignorant to that. I have no idea what that is, bro. Like, break that down for me.
okay. So imagine this. I'm at this
Okay.
I'm at this beautiful house,
Okay.
uh, on with infinity pool in the back. Your backyard
Mm.
walks down the rockway into the ocean. You know what I'm saying? You got the waves crazy. It's very spiritual. You walk down, you get cocos cut over in at the, you know, at the fresh cocos, fresh mangoes right on the side of the street. But now you got a group of people who have all come from all over the world. Some people know each other, some don't. And they become your brother and sister by the end of this thing. Like, you're talking about people who came from wherever for whatever reason they're going through in life, searching for more truth and coming to, you know, invest into an experience where somebody brought everybody together and brings these shamans in, and we sit down with the intentions and we follow the process. We take the ayahuasca ceremony, and it's just like, you know, medicinal, uh, or straight from the earth,
Yeah.
medicinal. People, it's not even hallucinogenic really. It's very it's almost like my experience of it was like you turn all the senses off and you turn the energy
Okay.
on more. Really,
Mm.
just like you become way more intuitively in
Sort
touch.
of like meditation, it's sort of
Literally,
like what meditation does for you, just in a medicinal sense, to where, you like you said, like you just said, and I'm just piggybacking off of you, everything else is turned off, and you tuned in, you kind of like tunnel vision of what's going on, like,
absolutely.
is
And
is that a
then
good like description of it?
absolutely. And in this time, it's all about the intention. The people that were guiding
Okay.
us, they know what's up. They're like shamans from they do these things all over the place. And they have these things where you're not even talking to nobody. You're in a circle and you're not talking to nobody. You're liable to purge. Some people might throw up, some people do all these, but whatever. It depends on where you're at. You know what I'm saying? How much
Yeah.
you need to let go and deal with. But we're all in a circle, and there's like, I when you open your eyes, you're not talking to nobody, so you have to take in the silence, and you have to take in this intuitive experience and this spiritual experience, and answer the phone call, and you got to you got to
What
converse.
what 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 part of Mexico was this?
Zihuatanejo. It's like
Damn. And
I,
was that your first time doing something of this type of caliber? Like this type of experience, was that your first time in any type of, you know what I mean?
so I was never into like super substance or anything like that, but I did try things throughout my life. Like I've tried mushrooms, I tried the acid, I tried DMT, so all the things that were like consciously, intrinsically expansion style. I was into that when I was, because throughout my journey when I was looking for myself, those are the things that were speaking at certain times, and I find myself in certain experiences. I listened, I try it for myself, but for me, it's not even about that. I went because what I'm saying, I'm with my girl, and we are, this is my I just follow my truth. So I'm following my
Yeah.
experience. I got my girl who at that time we had just started seeing each other, and she was just like, I want you to be there. So she was already going to go. She was already set up for the retreat. I got
Yeah.
my we go, and so I'm with my new girlfriend, who I'm
Mm-hmm.
still like revealing how powerful this experience is for us already.
Experiencing something new for the first time. So it was just an all around like cohesive experience, because
Oh my God.
you with your new girl, you with your new woman, and you experiencing something for the first time, and you get to do it with her, so it's not like you by yourself just out there, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Although, like you say, you guys were in a circle quiet, but you got a confidant that's next to you, and like, I got you, you know what I mean?
really. And we're both like consciously driven. We're both spiritual beings. We are both like, we were already familiar with the experience we were having. We were on a different level with each other already. So it was cool to have that. But then you got to remember, this is in Mexico on the full moon on her
Mm-hmm.
birthday, taking my commons. Like, this is, I couldn't miss that if I wanted to. That was legendary.
Big, big. That's big. Yeah, that's absolutely big. You say, how long ago was this?
So check this out. When we were flying back, that was when COVID was starting. Everybody was going crazy over the pandemic starting. This was in March. So it was like March 16th or something. I don't know. Last year. So this was when we were flying back. That's when things were changing.
Okay.
So
Wow.
out of this amazing divine experience with so much more truth and
To
love,
come back to chaos.
but prepared for it though.
Yeah, yeah. Because and so that's a blessing within itself, because like you just said, you out there in this divine spiritual um experience, and then you come back to all this chaos, but like you just said, your mind's body and soul is already prepared for it, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So how dope is that, to be able to experience that, you know what I mean? That's almost like meant to be.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. So beyond, like that's what makes me feel like I don't have no control. I'm just a toy in the story. Hence Woody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Story. I'm just playing my part, and these things are bigger than me. I trust it. So that's why even throughout this pandemic, I've leveled up the most in my life during this last year. I feel like I've had the most joyful experiences and the most heightened love and happiness in my life this last year, despite what was happening externally, because I wasn't giving no attention to it. I was
Yeah.
able to to still just experience what I was giving life to. And that was my creativity, my expansion, my love with my relationship, my kids, you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
downtime I had to get creative, like everything to me was an opportunity. And so I've enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to it getting open. And I feel like a horse at the stable ready to go off. Like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah. You ready for that shotgun? Pow!
come on.
Off to the races. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. You head on straight, man, and you got a positive message, positive energy, man. I love your energy. What's one message that you would give to your fans or to give to your listeners that's listening to you to understand either you or just in general? What's one message that you would give to your fans that's listening right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's something that they can take with them, whether it's something that you really wanted to know about you, like, okay, you hear this music, but this is, give me one message that you would give to your fans right now.
Yeah. So one thing is just like, all right, if you're listening to my music, listen to it with an open mind and an open heart. Don't go in there thinking that you're going to catch it all in one listen. I want you to shut off what you think is happening and listen, like listen to the images that are portraying through my words. And then you'll start to get deeper understanding. But beyond that, my main message to people is just like my bracelets I created. It says success is a mindset,
Yeah,
and my
yeah.
mindset. You know, is
Mm.
when anything you desire in this reality, if you can muster it up within yourself and within your consciousness, a conviction of knowing that it's done and you're willing to do what it takes, nobody can stop that. It is going to happen inevitably. So stay true to yourself, stay true to your truth. Don't waver for no external factor, whether it be somebody else's opinion, what's popular, what we think is, the way. Do what the fuck you feel within your heart 24/7, never waver, and watch what happens.
Yeah, 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 and that's hella dope, bro. That's some jewels to really just put around your neck or put in your watch that a person can carry around with them, and it'll carry them far. You know what I mean? So that's really dope, bro. That's why I asked you that question, because I knew you was gonna give us something that we could take. You know what I'm saying? I knew you was gonna give us one of them scriptures. You feel me,
Hey, I would love to honestly spit something too.
bro?
All right, because this is like with acapellas it's the funnest time to like give something that they can actually hear. So I'm gonna give them bars. I said, "What you know about the grind? Working overtime, late nights, early mornings just to maximize time. I've been looking for a sign. God, keep me open to the truth. I'm gonna lose it if I have to live a lie. Really, I would rather die. Hop up in the booth, take off my disguise. Got a superhero suit underneath my suit and tie. I don't need a cape to know I'm fly. Ask Lois. I be in my own lane with the drive. Put that on my life. I'm giving mines. Just because you breathing doesn't mean that you alive. Smoke away the pain. You can see the blood inside my eyes. Too much dead weight. I had to cut some ties. Yeah, it's hard to catch a wave when it's low tide. It's hard to waste time when there's no time. Get up out my whip if you ain't gonna ride. Looking like a walking lick. I'm a gold mine. Yeah, I'm gonna get it lit when there's no shine. Hanging with the gods like a clothesline. I did it on my own, no cosign. Me and Chakra got it popping like a 4-5. Bow. And really, I be buzzed for a light year. I told him last year, this is my year. Face tats on the nerves, I'm the pioneer. Where you going? What you looking for is right here. Grinding like the X Games. My ex thought and I ain't really with the head games. Whole squad got it looking like the end game. But I'ma keep it 100, boy, I been frank. I'm on top of my vision just like an eyelid. I be all alone just like an island. If you never lost yourself, how you gonna find it? When you talk about yourself, how you define it for real. I grew up with a temper, no chill. God the only one that know the deal. All the pain that I felt never could amount to what I feel. Instrumental got me on kill. One choice, two pills. Blue, you forget the whole spiel. Take the red, and that's when it get real. On my mom, it got real. Y'all was asleep. I was in the field getting busy trying to crack the 7 seals. You are what you eat. But what if you can't even get a meal? Are you nothing to the one who got a meal? Shout out to the meek. Inherit in the earth is in your will. Found God when I learned to be still. Let the truth be revealed. Never let them get you out your state. Rent late, nothing in the bank, got you stressing on bills. When nothing's working out, I'm working out. Perfect time to hit the gym with your faith. Man made of steel. In the booth, fly it in the cape. Demons on me, they know I got what it takes. They see what I've built, and they know it can never be destroyed. In the story, I am merely just a toy. Woody Beast.
Yo, yo. First of all, we gotta have a moment of silence real quick. That was powerful, G's.
No, thank
That
you.
was powerful, G's. You know what I'm saying? And normally I be having some heavy spitters on here. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate them because you know everybody that I talk to is a legend in their own right. But that's the first time I hear somebody come on here and give me something strong and power. I'm talking about and they lyricists. You know what I'm saying? You follow what I'm
Yo,
saying? You feel me? And for you to give me that, bro, you see what I'm saying? So somebody gonna hear that and not just take it as a rap, but listen to like you just said when you had that message to listen to exactly what you saying and take something from it, bro. So I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
thank you.
And I don't know. You might make me cook up a beat and send it to you. Like, yo, I got something for you.
Go, you got my email.
Bro, that was dope, man. And see, it's freestyles like that, bro. Like, and I gotta reiterate, I'm sorry that I'm reiterating, but it's freestyles like that that drew me to you. You know what I'm saying? That you would just get in front of the camera and just, you know, you bless us with a freestyle. And it might not even be something that's off the tape. It might just be something that you just wrote right then and there, this, that, and the third. But you giving your fans that. A lot of people see as we become artists, we start to get selfish, forgetting why we doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we doing it for our own endeavors and our own you know, just whatever we want to get out of it. But then don't don't we want listeners? You know what I'm saying? Don't we want to tap into the people that's listening and messing with us? And you give us that. You follow what I'm saying? You ain't just go listen to my record. You every now and then, you know, you throwing a freestyle up and you like, yo, listen to this. I got something for you. This is just something special for you that ain't on the tape. This is just something
Come
like
on,
having that heart to heart, so to speak.
come on. So I mean, I literally have spent so much time. Like I used to do so much mixtape tracks, and I shot videos for all of them. Like I was paying 200, 250 a video. Nobody knew who I was at this time. I'm dropping 250 a video on top of paying to go to the studio, paying to get it mixed and mastered, to give you a free mixtape track. You know, dropping it only on, and I didn't even have SoundCloud at first. I was only dropping on like Spotify, iTunes, and all that stuff. No SoundCloud, just to
Yeah,
prove. And they're like, "Oh, you a SoundCloud rapper?" I'm like, "Bro, I've had face tats longer than SoundCloud's been alive.
yeah.
I different breed, you know." So I was giving free mixtape tracks to them with nuggets, giving them the hardest writtens. Like for example, I did Free Smoke from Drake.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, we got Drake did it, and then Dave East did it and killed it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to put one
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah,
Just show them that level of quality that I'm bringing too. And so, and then I did a Young Thug song, Danny Glover, and this
yeah,
deep I went. So in Danny Glover, Danny Glover, the actor.
yeah.
So I named 4 of Danny Glover's songs in there, and no, and they're all intertwined in a row. And one is Lethal Weapon,
Mm-hmm.
The Color Purple,
Mm-hmm.
To Sleep with Anger,
Mm-hmm.
Angels in the Outfield. Now watch how I said it. I said, inside of my mind, I keep a lethal weapon. I
Mm.
said that Color Purple, it's a rap. Twisted
Mm.
Perfection. Life is a dream. To sleep with anger is a sin. Yeah, angels in the outfield. Still, who are you within? You know what I'm saying? So like,
Mm. In the battle rap world, they call that a scheme.
come on.
Huh? So
And
not
on,
only is he punching, he's scheming. You know?
and on top of that, after that, I did like multiple TV and movie references. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, inside, I said, angels in the outfield. Still, who are you within? Who are you within? I said, I'm stuck in the moment. Forgive me if I seem oblivious. I just don't pay attention to ridiculousness. Remember that show,
Yeah,
Ridiculous?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't watch TV. The media be too insidious, and Insidious was a scary movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I channel the gods, create a machine that allows me to travel through time in a pod. I'm on my Phineas and Ferb, and I said,
Mm-hmm.
so like there's the levels that I'm putting into it. I'm like, yo, if, I feel like nobody's gonna listen until they know that I'm dropping gems. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And that's how you know the listeners, because they picking, they're not just hearing the words, they like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because he not just writing, he putting thought into what he writing.
Exactly.
Hella dope, bro. That's hella dope.
my whole life that listened to my stuff, and then one day they called me and they were like at the gym and they listened to it with an open mind that one way, and they caught the Holy Ghost. You know what I'm saying? And they're calling me like,
Yeah,
oh, oh,
yeah.
and I'm like, bro, welcome.
I've been here the whole time, but thank you for joining us.
Come on, exactly.
That's hella dope, bro. And let's real quick, I want to expound on the I want to touch on the fashion real quick because
Yeah, yeah.
I seen your story and you posting a couple things. Is that, do you have your own line? Is that something you're thinking about going into, or
hmm Yeah, so I do. I have multiple styles. So like when I have this like kind of thing where I call it like designer alchemy, where I do a lot of things wrong. Right now, I'm doing a pair of off-white jeans that I have, and I'm just painting them and going crazy on them. And I've done, Louis bags, or taking a Ralph Lauren bag, and it's like so.
I might have to tap in with you after this podcast, bro, to see if I can get you to do maybe a couple belts or maybe some jeans for me. Because like I say, when I seen your story and I seen a couple of the things you was putting together, I'm like, yo. So I might have to tap in with you, and if you welcome for anybody else to tap in with you, so you can make some money off of it, too. If they seeing this, tap in with him, DM. He's charging for the high, so don't come playing, because when you see this guy's creativity, you want to pay that. Trust me. I might have to tap in with you myself. Maybe if I can even get you to do like a dope jean jacket for me, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's my specialty. Bro, I'm telling you. So
Yeah,
I did a Fear of God jacket recently. Jerry Lorenzo, Fear of God Nikes and stuff. So Fear of God,
absolutely.
$650 jacket, and I
Yeah,
I painted it on the back, and I did a Bible verse that said, "There's no fear of God before their eyes," and I highlight fear of God in red outside from the other colors of the letter, so it shows the Fear of God jacket mixed with the Fear of God Bible verse thing, and I had the Romans thing going down the arm. So I love creating
yeah,
um, high quality garments, because like Levi's jackets, denim jackets. I like the styles because when I do start doing my mass producing, when I got multiple designers that can help me bring things to life, that I don't have to sew myself, or I don't have to paint myself, but I can map it out,
yeah,
do
yeah.
multiple. But for now, they're one of one. Everything I do is one of one.
That's the key. See, that's the thing too. I love it. I love the fact that if I come to you and I get something from you, it's gonna be a one-on-one. Nobody else is gonna have that on. You know what I'm saying? It's
Exactly.
not gonna be able to be duplicated. That's why I gotta tap in with you, and that's why a lot of you that are listening, if you like Woody and you like A1 and you like being original and like having those one-on-ones, those authentics, tap into this man, because trust me, he got some heat. He got
Yeah.
some heat.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And so if anybody's listening, like my IG is Woody Beast
Yeah,
7.
yeah. I was just finna say, yeah, just but before we get to your IG and all that, tell me what you got coming up next, what you working on, what can we expect, and what can we look forward to from Woody?
Yeah, so big, big, big things. A lot of the things that I would love to share, I can't,
They
because
on the
those are things that are getting locked in, that we was told pray in secret till it comes to pass. But on beyond that though, just know, like, I have the hardest track when I'm going to Florida, March 16th through the 23rd. I'm gonna be in the studio. Just know my next drops are going to be the craziest drops I've ever done so far, and
Okay.
only getting better. And everything I'm doing from this point on is just upping the bar. Like, I'm taking it to a whole nother level. The access that we got on certain aspects of just resources and people that we're in touch with now, we've built relationships with, that we've been putting some things together for a long time to be able to really hit a power punch when it. So these things that I'm feeding right now, these garments, all these things, I'm saying, like, these things are going to be the things that you grab them now for, semi cheap, for and be able to resell here real soon, when the value, it shows what's really coming, because it's inevitable. I'm making a stamp in this world, not for me, for all of us, because we are creators, and this is what we designed to do, to hold our standards high to
Absolutely,
our,
bro.
so that we can get whatever we want.
Absolutely. Well, Woody. Go ahead and give them your social media and where they can find you. Music on all platforms, right?
Yep, music on all platforms. Woody Beast, WOODY Beast, 2 words, Woody Beast. And yeah, so my music's on all platforms. There's things on YouTube that you won't hear anywhere else. There's things on
Mm-hmm.
SoundCloud you won't hear anywhere else. So there's find between all of the platforms and kind of see what else you can find, because there's gems there. And my Instagram has exclusivities, like all the, you've seen some of my new clips. I've been dropping
Cold.
jam freestyle things, and I'm doing those like every week now. So there's things that on everywhere where I am is going to have something else different than where you can find something else. I got a little page that's unique threads that I use for the garments, but I can't even get my garments on that page because they're selling before I even get them to the page. So
Jesus.
get to my Instagram. My Instagram is Woody Beast 777. I love tapping with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I love to engage, interact. I love the love. I love the support. I love reciprocating that love. So tapping with me, and I want to fuck with y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Woody. He has a story, and the story ain't to be played with.
Uh,
Woody Beast, man. I appreciate you for tapping in with me once again, bro. Like, this was a dope interview, informative interview, and like I say, man, your talent is you gonna get what you deserve out of life. I could tell that already, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. And I can say honestly, bro, this has been by far my favorite interview, bro. The vibe you bring, the way that you are, you're a great listener and you're authentic. It's in the moment. I love the questions you ask. It really allowed me to share some of my excitement without just talking about the music and giving them a kind of underground
Who
foundation.
you are, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and I appreciate that.
Well, Woody, I'm gonna tap in. Like I say, once this is over, I gotta tap in with you on the sideline to see how we can see how I can put something in your pocket to give me some of them garments you got coming out, because they so dope. And even once I do tap in with you, y'all will probably be seeing me wear them on the show, because I like to get fly. You know what I'm saying? You gonna make me?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
get.
you see.
I'm gonna send you some of these too.
All right, yeah, I'm all right. That's it's on camera, so that's bound in court.
Yeah,
Yeah, y'all heard him first.
let's go.
No, but once again, bro, I appreciate you, bro, and it's all love.
Yeah, blessings. Much love, bro. Thank you for having me.